Hello guys, welcome back to another video from Automation Coach. In this video, we're looking at how to customize ChatGPT to make it more responsive to your specific needs at work. So take a look at this example. We haven't customized ChatGPT whatsoever. It's a brand new account, just created it. And if you head here, customize ChatGPT, you'll see it's completely blank here. And I want to show you something first. Write me a sales email selling my services to Frank for £100. This is what happens when you ask ChatGPT a basic question when you haven't given it any details whatsoever. Look, it's come back and said, can you provide me with more detail? It doesn't know anything about you. Let's just say, just draft me the email. So what it's going to do without any information is, okay, it can draft you an email, but it puts these boilerplate sections in there which you would have to go and change. Now, most people, when they first start using ChatGPT, they see this and they go, oh yeah, how's that going to help me? That's not going to help me at all. I have to change all of that. Yeah, wrote a nice template, but that's not going to help me. The real magic to ChatGPT happens when you customize it. To do that, you head to over here and you press Customize GPT, and you're going to enter details here. What would you like ChatGPT to know about you to provide better responses, and how would you like ChatGPT to respond? Now, I've created a free blueprint that you can download to help you work through these questions. And it looks quite detailed. We'll go through it now and you'll see how good it is at changing ChatGPT to work for you. So the first section, what would you like ChatGPT to know about you to provide better responses? The personal context. What are your personal interests and hobbies? Now you might be thinking, well, why do I need to enter that if we're using ChatGPT for work? And the reason is because quite often when you're talking to people at work, you'll drop in little anecdotes about your life, where you live, maybe about your family, your interests, and of course your hobbies. And that's just natural, a way of working. And so it's helpful to put that in here. So for example, I like making cocktails at the weekend, learning languages, and making wooden toy models for my son. Okay, that's all it needs to be, but be truthful because people who know you will understand. Next question, what are some topics you want ChatGPT to focus on when discussing non-work related matters? So you might find that you're using ChatGPT for other things. And again, it comes back to this kind of interests and hobbies thing. So what other things are you interested in that ChatGPT might be good for? Well, for example, maybe you're really into running, or maybe you're really into reading fantasy novels, or maybe you're really into following the latest developments of MasterChef. So enter this kind of detail to help ChatGPT understand you. Next, how would you prefer ChatGPT to communicate with you? Casual, professional, concise, detailed, or motivational? So again, this is thinking about ChatGPT as your personal assistant, but also getting it to write as you. You'll be copying and pasting emails and documents written as if it's from you. So really you want to answer this, how do you write? Do you write in a casual way, professional, super concise and direct, very detailed, or are you a very motivational, emotional person in the way that you write? So choose that, and choose it based on just how you are normally. Don't think about too much, what you should be or what's the best. Just do you. Do you have specific values or principles you want ChatGPT to consider in its responses? And I've given some examples here: inclusivity, humor, sustainability, empathy. Those are your values. What do you care about? When people ask you difficult questions about the team, what you should do, what kind of things do you take into account? Next up, what is your profession or area of expertise? Now this section here is the most important one, so take your time. So for example, let's just say I'm doing it for myself. So I am automation coach. I teach people how to apply AI to their work to help them not get replaced by robots. I have an online community and course at getautomationcoach.com and a Skool community. And I could put the link there if I wanted to. I could give my credibility. You could give your qualifications. You could say where you've been featured. Maybe you've been featured in various articles. Maybe you've written a book. Maybe you've given speeches. Maybe you haven't done any of that, but at least you went to university or you went to a college. You got various degrees. Put it all in here. The more detail, the better. So keep that relevant to you. It should really look like a CV, but keep it concise as well. What tasks or challenges do you face at work that ChatGPT can help with? For example, sales, marketing, are you in HR? Do you just want ChatGPT to help with brainstorming, technical explanation, summarizing content? Now, this one here, if you don't know ChatGPT very well and what it can do, you might struggle to answer this. So think about it more like, well, what do I do in my day-to-day job? I do my emails. I schedule meetings. I take minutes in those meetings. I then brainstorm ideas. I then talk to HR quite a lot, or I talk to the finance director quite a lot. I do external advertising. Write down what you do, because those are the things that ChatGPT can help with, and it's basically anything, okay? So just start, and you can always change these later, right? So later on, we can go back in here and change it as your job changes or as you learn more what ChatGPT can help with. Do you have preferred tools, software, or workflows ChatGPT could align with? Okay, so these are all the programs that you use in your everyday job. For example, I use Gmail, I use Google Docs, I use Google Sheets, and I use something called make.com. I use Final Cut Pro for video editing. Type in all those things. Maybe you've got a sales CRM, maybe you've got Charlie HR, maybe you've got Xero accounting, maybe you've got QuickBooks, maybe you're doing programming. Add in all those types of things, because the way ChatGPT will then answer will be customized to the software that you use. Another top tip is just to tell it what computer operating system you're using. For example, are you on Apple macOS? Are you on Windows? Do you have an iPhone? Do you have an Android? Add it all here, because then its answers will be customized to you, and it makes it much more helpful. Are there specific industries or topics you deal with frequently that ChatGPT should have a much deeper focus on? So for example, with Automation Coach, I am specializing in helping people who are in sales, marketing, and HR right now. So I'm going to add that in. I might also add in automation and AI. What tone and style of writing should ChatGPT use for professional communications? So this is where you've asked it to write your professional email. How do you want it to come across? Slightly different than this question here, where it's about how ChatGPT should communicate with you. This is much more for the context of where it's writing professionally. How would you like it to come across? Are there any industry terms, acronyms, or jargon ChatGPT should learn to use or avoid? Mixed question here. I personally don't like acronyms and jargon, so I would say please don't use any. But some people might find that in their workplace, whether it's medicine or whether it's in advertising or marketing, there are some acronyms and stuff they love to use. So you might just define them here. That's particularly helpful if there are inside acronyms at your company and workplace. So if people have certain phrases in their emails that they use, I know this is really true in creative industries or advertising, or acronyms for all sorts of things, then put them here, because then ChatGPT can understand the context of communications better. Okay, so now we're moving on to the next section, which is how would you like ChatGPT to respond? We've already done a couple of those answers, but we're just going to really nail it home now. So what are your preferred response lengths for different types of queries? Short answers for quick questions, detailed breakdowns for complex issues. Let's have a look at the one that I wrote for myself here. So I said short answers for quick questions and step-by-step reasoning for complex questions. I'll come back to that, plus evaluation. Add negative impacts and extra considerations. What did I mean by that? Well, if I'm just asking something short and quick, I just want it to reply really concisely. If I'm asking it quite a complex question with lots of different factors to take into account, I want it to break down its thought process step by step. And as you learn how to use ChatGPT, this phrase, step by step, will become key. It's a way of controlling AI to think in a more accurate manner. So step-by-step reasoning will mean that ChatGPT will break down its answers in a step-by-step manner. Sounds simple. We'll come back to lots of different examples later. Plus evaluation. At the end of its answer, I want it to review what it's told me and evaluate it to think of extra considerations. For example, are there any negative impacts that I haven't considered? I want it to tell me. Next, how do you want ChatGPT to handle incomplete or unclear instructions? Ask clarifying questions. Suggest alternative approaches. It sounds obvious. You'll be amazed how many people just write off ChatGPT as completely rubbish, and it's actually because they gave a very unclear instruction, a bit like our example with the email where we said, write me a sales email selling my services to Frank for £100. We haven't told it who Frank is. We haven't said what our services are. We don't know what we're selling. We haven't told ChatGPT, but some people just think ChatGPT should know everything automatically. Well, it will once you fill in this document and we tell it. Do you want ChatGPT to summarize or highlight key points to long answers? I said yes. Let's go back to the blueprint template here. Should ChatGPT prioritize specific sources of information or research methods? For example, do you prefer academic papers, trusted news outlets, or internal documents? If you don't know the answer to any of these questions, you can just remove them like this. No problem. Don't worry if you don't fill out everything. This is really detailed. This is a very advanced process to go through. Very few people do this. You'll be in the top 1% if you fill out all these things. Do you have a preferred structure for certain outputs? Like, do you prefer bullet points, numbered lists? Do you want lengthy prose or certain templates for it to follow? Add that here if you have it. If you don't worry. You can always tell it to structure it in every single instruction. Are there specific examples or formats you'd like ChatGPT to emulate? Again, you can add it here, or if you don't know, just get rid of it. And lastly, privacy and boundaries. What types of personal sensitive information should ChatGPT avoid discussing or remembering? This is up to you. Maybe you've got stuff you don't want it to remember or talk about. For example, here, I've just said personal data such as names, telephone numbers, emails, company information, personal financial details. Now, in my previous video, you should have already made ChatGPT private. I'm going to show it quickly again. Press your picture, go to settings, go to data controls, and where it says improve the model for everyone, make sure that says off. Then your data isn't being uploaded. You can head over to security just to check this stuff as well, but generally that's how it works, okay? Going back to the blueprint, are there specific topics you consider off limits or wish to avoid entirely? And that's completely up to you. For me, I don't want to talk about politics or religion at all. All right, so let's say you fill this in as I have. The first two sections, here and here, oops, that's it, are going to go into ChatGPT, press this, customize ChatGPT, or it can be in the settings, and we're going to paste it into here, but we're going to run into an error. Look at that. There's a maximum character length of 1,500. Don't panic. This is going to be your first use of ChatGPT. So head back to ChatGPT, just close it, no problems. And this is how you create a new chat. You press this little arrow in the top left here, and then you're going to say, condense the following to a max. I know I've put 2 thirds there, but it doesn't matter, of 1,500 characters. Now I'm going to paste my whole thing. And we're going to watch as ChatGPT condenses everything I wrote into 1,500 characters or less. A couple of tips here. Can you see that I put links to my websites so that when I ask it to do various tools, it can include the links automatically. I don't need to keep putting it in there. So it's condensed what I wrote into this, which more or less has got most of the things that I told it about. You can see the specifics, which is good. And I'm going to come back to here, Customise ChatGPT, and I'm just going to paste it in. One thing it changed, which I'll change back, is this Skool link. So Skool is my online community website where I'm uploading all these tutorial videos. I'm just starting now, so this is why it's looking a bit sparse, but please join. I'm going to make it free for the first 50 members. After the first 50 members, I'll start charging money. So if you are finding this video helpful, please consider joining as an early member and you'll get it all for free. So there we are. Next, we're going to move to this bit. I'm just going to hit save. Okay. We're going to head back to my own template, which I filled in here. We're now on section 3. And we're just going to copy this, section 3 and 4, head over here, and I'm just going to ask it to condense this as well. Notice how I only wrote condense that time. I didn't even write the whole instruction again. And I continued in the same chat window because it has the context of the previous instruction, so it knows what I'm looking for now. So I can be more concise in my instructions. I'm going to copy that, customize ChatGPT. There we go. Save. Now we're going to try this sales email request again. I'm going to do exactly the same thing Write me a sales email selling my services to Frank for £100. Now watch this. Remember how rubbish it was the first time. Look at that. We had to change all of this, had no idea what we do. Now we're going to do it again. Transform your workday with an AI-powered automation. Hi Frank, I notice you're likely juggling countless tasks daily from admin to strategy. Imagine if AI could take over the repetitive stuff, freeing you to focus on high-impact work. As an automation coach, I help professionals like you harness AI to streamline workflows, boost productivity, and safeguard your job against disruption. For £100, I'll provide a tailored consultation to... Look at that. It knows who I am, it knows what I do, and now it knows what I'm selling. Other than my real name, which I haven't shared here, it's a complete email that I can copy and paste. Compare it to this. It doesn't know who I am. It doesn't know what I sell. It doesn't know anything. It's a good template, but it doesn't know. Suddenly, it knows all about me. ChatGPT has just become infinitely more powerful. Guys, I hope you found this video helpful. You can get my blueprint for free to answer these questions. I'll put a link in the YouTube description below. And please again, join my Skool community. There's a link below. The first 50 members will be free and you can see all these video tutorials on there. Thanks for watching.